What's going on, guys? So we know that Costco got the new Super Pac-Man. What do we need to do with Arcade 1-Up and Day 1 buys or wait on them? Let's discuss after this. Alright guys, as many of y'all know, Costco brought out the Super Pac-Man for Costco, kind of out of the blue. So the question begs to answer now, Arcade 1-Up, do we buy day one or do we wait to see what Costco or any of them have to offer, HSN, any of those? Give you a little bit of history. Mortal Kombat came out, second gen cabinet, everybody was excited, and then all of a sudden, about a month or two later, Costco brought out one that I believe had the stool, light up marquee, and a riser, and it was $50 more than the Mortal Kombat at Walmart. It was $300. This Costco bundle was $350. So it made a lot of people upset that you could get the lit marquee, the stool and the riser for $50 more. And I believe it was all three. Maybe one of them wasn't in there. I can't quite remember. But anyway, the value was there for the extra $50. Because also, not to mention, if you bought that Mortal Kombat 2, you had to go buy a $50 riser separately. It didn't come with one, so you're paying $350 anyway. So that value was there with the Costco bundle. And I believe they did that with Pac-Man as well, but I think Mortal Kombat was the popular one that everyone talked about. So then, fast forward a little bit, and I guess Pac-Man came out, and he had the Marvel cabinet came out. $300 for the basic 3-foot cabinet, and then HSN gets a version for $400 that has the lit marquee and the custom riser. So otherwise, you'd have to buy the $300 machine from Walmart, $50 riser, $350 to have a riser, and it wasn't even custom. $50 more bucks, you also got the lit marquee and the custom riser. So now we're getting fast forward to, and you have Super Pac-Man coming out, and people are doing, it's the same thing all over again. I don't remember seeing anything on Super Pac-Man being released from Arcade 1-Up. They talked about Miss Pac-Man, Buck Hunter, all these other ones. I don't believe any of us saw Super Pac-Man. Comment down below if they did or if you saw it. I just don't remember it, and I watch it pretty much all the time. Pretty much, I'm in the groups and stuff and pay attention. I don't remember seeing Super Pac-Man until the very last second when basically it was at Costco and people were buying them and had pictures of them in their cart. Well, great. So now that begs the question, we're rolling into a time period here where Buck Hunter's coming out, Miss Pac-Man's coming out. Arcade 1-Up's got notorious for releasing different versions of the cabinet with different games on it. Because now Miss Pac-Man has Galaga on it, and another version has Dig Dug on it. I really like the Galaga one, so I would have waited on the Pac-Man machine I got that just has one game. It has 4 games on it. But I only play one. It's the HSN version, so it came with the lit marquee, the custom riser, so it looks great, plays Pac-Man great. But had I waited, I'd have had to wait another 8 months to a year, basically, to get the Miss Pac-Man with everything, and I've had this one, been able to enjoy it. So a year, you really at a loss? Maybe not. But a month? That's a big difference. So with these other machines coming out, it begs the question, are they day one buys or no? And most of these machines, in my opinion, are not day one buys. Even Golden Axe coming out, I believe it's finally hit the stores. That's not something I'm going to pick up. Miss Pac-Man would be if I didn't already have a Pac-Man. Maybe I sell this one and get it. Who knows? But it just kind of begs that question in the future when cabinets come out, which all of these I don't really think now that they're coming with lit marquees. They're pretty much coming standard with custom risers. Of course, Buck Hunter isn't coming with a lit marquee, but the form factor is definitely different than the cookie cutter Arcade 1-Ups. It's got the guns on it, which probably add to the expense of it. So Buck Hunter, I don't really know if there's much that they're going to do and bring out something different. But it does beg the question, the future racing cabinets are coming. More shooter cabinets are going to come. So what happens when they come out with Area 51, or let's even say Time Crisis, something like that, and you get Time Crisis 1 or 2, and then they release another cabinet with Time Crisis 1, House of the Dead 1. Or basically they just come out with a whole new cabinet and you've got Time Crisis and Costco gets House of the Dead 1 and 2. That will make an issue because people would rather have House of the Dead than Time Crisis. I'd be happy with either one, but I know House of the Dead's the more popular one. So then we go into the racing cabinets. I don't know if this first racing cabinet is going to be killer, I assume it's going to be like pole position or outrun or something like that, something simpler. But when they do come out with Daytona and cruising, as I assume their plan is to head that way when their products and their CPUs and all that stuff, it gets easy enough and cost effective enough to do those. What happens when you go buy Cruising USA with Cruising Exotica on it, and then they acquire the licensing for the Fast and the Furious versions, and at Costco you see the Fast and the Furious version, Tokyo Drift and everything, and maybe it has Cruising USA on it. Because they're notorious for doing that too. They're not going to give you all the games on a machine. They're going to give you one or two, and I assume more expensive cabinets like the racing games and the shooting games, you probably only see two games on them. So then you're like, do I wait, or do I just go ahead and buy day one, or within that first couple weeks of them releasing? And I think it's going to come down a lot to, do you really like the game lineup, the form factor, and all of that? I mean, if they come out with House of the Dead 1 and 2, and that's their first shooter game, you're going to buy those day one. They're going to be sold out. I really think the same thing if they brought out a Daytona machine or a Cruising USA with Cruising Exotica machine. I think those are going to be just day one buys. I don't know how much really better they can get. Now, if they bring out a stand-up version and then turn around and bring out a sit-down version at Costco or something that looks really cool, that could be a problem too. So it's really hard to say. I guess my advice would be, is like with most of these, I bought NBA Jam was a day one buy. Wow, they came to Costco and brought out one with a topper. Zippity doo dah. I didn't really care about that. You can buy a third party for not much. So wasn't a big deal there. And I think that's what a lot of machines are going to end up coming to. The issue is probably going to come where, kind of like with the Miss Pac-Man, I want to say there's Miss Pac-Mans I think I've seen that have Did Dug and Galaga on them. So if you have one that's got Galaga, Dig Dug, and Miss Pac-Man, that's the machine I would want at home versus this one. And I'd be done with Pac-Man. I won't have to worry about it anymore, even though they brought out Super Pac-Man. They're going to bring out more Pac-Man machines. It's a money maker. They're marketing to more people than just the normal, or, the enthusiast of retro gaming, just the normal casual buyer that goes in Walmart and sees it, and it's an impulse buy. Hey, it's Pac-Man. Cool, I'm going to buy it. Everybody loves Pac-Man. It's going to have clothes on it in 3 months. They're targeting those people too. And Pac-Man's a seller, so that's going to happen. But anyway, I'm digressing. Point is, hey, what you going to do day one? I guess that's my question. Are you going to sit there and wait a couple months? And it might not even hurt. I mean, they don't sell them out super fast, so unless it's just something you're super excited about. I mean, even like the Marvel and Street Fighter cabinets that are coming out, to me, those are cabinets I can wait, and if they combine them or come out with more games or something better, maybe. I've got enough fighter games. That one looks cool. I may get rid of Mortal Kombat for it. But in the end, hey, I guess it's just kind of to the point of, if you're not really excited about the lineup, like Buck Hunter, don't really care to have, maybe it looks more exciting. Kind of felt that way with Star Wars, and then it came out, and I'd love to buy it. I haven't bought it yet. Played it, didn't think I'd really enjoy it, and I really did enjoy that game. So it's one that, at some point, if it comes down in price, I may buy, but I'm digressing. Anyway, what do you think? What are you going to buy? You looking to buy day one? Does it matter with the title, the form factor? If it's sit down, if they have foot pedals for the shooter games, what are you looking for? So hey, if you like this content, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe. Do a lot with gaming, retro gaming, tech. I'm going to bring it all to you as fast as I can. I'm improving quality every time. So let me down in the comments below what you plan on doing, and I guess mine's hurry up and wait. So anyway, guys, until we see y'all in the next one, out!